What's the word, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, that boy Dixon. Now, today, we're looking at a player that reportedly Barcelona is interested in, Karim Adeyemi. I'm going to keep it completely real with y'all. I haven't really watched Adeyemi play. First, we're going to react to a video called Here's Why Hansi Flick Wants Karim Adeyemi. And we'll see what stands out about this so-called speed, movement, finishing, and overall playing style that I've kind of heard about, right? Now, after that, we're going to put up a scouting report, look deeper into his strengths and weaknesses, and then I'll give my honest opinion on whether Barca should actually pursue him. Now, does he have what it takes to play for Barca? Does he fit Flick's system? And most importantly, is he somebody that we should spend money on? All right, let's get into the video and see what Karim Adeyemi is actually about. I'm not going to sit here and act like I've been watching this man every week in the Bundesliga. This is genuinely my first time ever looking at him, ever seeing his game, ever seeing him play, ever seeing him move. This is my first time ever seeing him. So everything I'm going to say is going to be based on what I'm seeing now and also based on the scouting report afterwards. Now, disclaimer. I did use AI to help me better understand the stat sheets. So when we get to that portion, take it with a grain of salt. We all know AI can miss things. So let me know if it does miss something or let me know if something is incorrect. So the first thing I'm looking for in this video is the obvious. Why does Hansi Flick want him? Is it just the speed? Is it the ability to attack space? Is he somebody who can stretch the defense and give Barcelona something different on the wing? Because Barca already has gifted players. We already have players who want the ball at their feet. What I want to see is whether Adeyemi brings something the team is currently missing. So while we watch, I'm paying attention to a few things, right? How good is he in one-on-one situations? Can he beat defenders when there is a lot of space? How is his decision-making in the final third? Can he finish consistently? It's one thing to look dangerous on the counterattack when there is 40 yards open grass in front of you. It's another thing to play against a low block where the defense is sitting deep and every decision has to be sharp, right? This is probably going to be the biggest question for me, right? La Liga is rough. The teams play low blocks. So that's my biggest question. Can you help us break the low block as well? But without further ado, let's get into this video. That's a nice control. Ooh, what a banger. Ooh, see, now look. Now this is the finishing they must be talking about. Ooh, good. Oh my days, what a ball. Look at this through ball. Or low cross, however you want to look at it. I think it's a low cross. It's more or less a low cross. Ooh, okay. Oh yeah, he got some good dribbling. Ooh. Oh man, if he finished that, that would have been amazing. That's good control. That's good ball control. That's great ball control. Look at that. Look at that. That touch was beautiful. Ooh. Okay, see, right there. Now you can immediately see that speed, right? So he does not just look fast. He looks like the type of player who can force a defense to drop deeper because they are scared of him getting behind them. Now see, look, right? That alone could create more space for players like Pedri, Dani Olmo, Lamine Yamal, just basically whoever playing through the middle, right? But speed itself is not enough, okay? Now, we have seen plenty of fast players who look dangerous in highlight videos. But once the game slows down and they have to make the right pass, beat a defender, stay consistent, like that's when they start showing their weaknesses and everything, right? So like, cause we've seen fast players. If that was the case, then shit, the leagues would be full of them. So I'm not fully sold yet, but I'm not even gonna lie to you though. I like what I'm seeing though, but I think I still need more evidence. Oh my God. What a header. Bro, now, brother, I'm not gonna lie to you. The man's dribbling is very good. His control. Now, I know it's a highlight film, but the man's dribbling and control seem very good. Very good. Oh my days! What a ball! Okay, now another thing that I do notice though, right, is that he seems very direct. When he gets the ball, he's not always trying to slow the game. In fact, when he gets the ball, he's not trying to slow the game at all. Like he wants to attack. He wants to attack the defender, attack the space, and get toward the goal. Like he's not doing a Pedri, right? Pedri's a deep line playmaker that creates. He's not that, right? He's trying to get to that goal. He wants to put that in the back of the net, whether it's him or the person that he's giving it to. He wants in the back of that net. Now, this could be useful for Barca because sometimes our attack can be too patient. Everybody wants a perfect pass. Everybody wants a perfect angle. Then the defense gets comfortable. Mistakes happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just weird stuff. Now, Adeyemi looks like somebody who could bring a little chaos into that attack. Not recklessly, though, I hope. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want him to just go out there and just be doing stuff. Not reckless chaos, but controlled chaos. If that makes any sense. The kind where like the defender suddenly has to turn around and sprint towards his own goal instead of just being able to stand in front of the box, where we see majority of defenders do in our low block. I hope I'm making sense, right? Look at the control of this. Look at the dribbling control. Is that Man City? It is. That was Doku. Ooh. Ooh. That was great decision making. That was great vision, great decision making. Did he mean that? Did he mean to skip pass? No, he did. He actually did. Wow. Bro, the dribbling is disgusting. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, that was a hell of a pass by the other player. Oh my days. Okay. Bro, he be beating them. He be beating the defenders. Woo! Nutmeg. Oh my God. Okay. Look at this. Oh! What a strike. Just look at look how quick he moves. Ooh. Bro, he's making some very great plays, though. I know it's a highlight reel, but he's making some great plays. Oh, you got to finish that, though. That was great. You got to finish that. Ooh. Ooh. Oh, my days. Look at... No. Oh, I thought he shot it. Oh, that's a pin. Bro, he loved that cross. He loved that cross pass. But it looks good though. The times they showed it, it's look good. Oh my God! Look at the speed. Look at the control. Even while fighting them off. Okay, so now we watch that video, I definitely understand some of the appeal. No, wholeheartedly, I definitely understand some of the appeal. That speed is real. That directness is real. And his ability to attack space is probably the biggest reason why Flick wants him. He was relentless. He looks like a player who can fit high pressing, aggressive system like we have in Barcelona. He's a player that would win the ball and immediately attack before the other team can even get organized. And with his speed, that's a problem, right? But at the same time, it's a highlight video, right? So highlight videos are designed to make players look good, right? So they show the goals, the dribbles, the runs, the moments where everything works, right? And they usually don't show the bad touches, the poor decisions, the missed chances, injuries, the games where they just ghost and they're not there. You know, we've seen that with a multitude of players, even superstars. Just games where they just have bad games. They're just not there. So now we have to move away from the highlights and look at the scouting report, right? So this is where we found out whether the full picture matches the highlights. And this is what I was mentioning earlier when I said I had to use AI to understand it and get a better breakdown of it. So what I did was I took all this information from this website, put it into my AI, and made it simplify it for me so that the percentages, numbers made sense. Looked over that and came up with my own understanding of what I was reading. Okay? So let me know if I'm wrong, or let me know if I missed something, or if I misunderstood something, or whatever, okay? So the question is not simply, is Karim talented? But the real question is, does he make Barcelona better? Because that's what we need. We need someone that makes us better than what we already are. And even more importantly, is he worth whatever Dortmund would ask us to pay for him? Is he worth this? We're on FB Ref, and this is where we separate the actual production from the highlight video electricity. Now, I'm looking for Adeyemi's numbers across all competitions because I don't want to judge him for just one tournament or a handful of Champions League highlights, right? So now we're on FB Ref, and this is where we actually separate the actual production from the highlight video electricity, you know? So I'm looking at Adeyemi numbers. So I'm looking at Adeyemi's numbers across all competitions, right? I don't want to judge him for just one tournament or a handful of Champions League highlights, right? I don't want to judge him for. I'm looking at Adeyemi's numbers across all competitions. I'm looking at Adeyemi's numbers across. I'm looking at Karim's numbers across all competitions, right? Because I don't want to judge him from just one tournament or a handful of Champions League highlights. So, for the 2025 and 26 season, Adeyemi finished with 10 goals and 6 assists, so for 16 GA across the Bundesliga and Champions League. Those are where he performed at last year. He didn't perform at Poco. He didn't even play. Okay. So he didn't even play. Okay. So Bundesliga recorded 7 goals and 4 assists in just under 1,200 minutes. Champions League recorded 3 goals, 2 assists in under 500 minutes. So even though he wasn't playing full matches every week, he was still producing, which is actually, that's kind of decent though. I ain't gonna lie to you. So, you know, that kind of caught my attention right there because that's kind of crazy. So playing time. Now, the first thing that stands out is his number of minutes. Now, he made a lot of appearances, but many of those were not full 90-minute performances, as we see right here. So this means that we have to be careful when looking only at goal production, right? You can't really sit here and say that he's not a goal scorer because within this small amount of time, he scored a lot, right? Because if you're only playing 13 minutes out of 90, but you're scoring what was it, 7 goals, 4 assists? That's kind of insane, right? It's just, in my opinion, that's kind of insane. So at the same time, though, it raises another question, though. Why wasn't he playing more? Was it tactical? Was it because of injuries? Was it because of inconsistency? Or did the manager just simply prefer other players? I don't know, because, if Barcelona's going to spend money on him, right, then we need to understand, why a player with this much speed and production wasn't a guaranteed starter for Dortmund, right? So let's look at goal contributions, okay? 7 goals and 4 assists in the Bundesliga, right? That gives him 11 direct goal contributions in fewer than 200 minutes. Then you add another 5 contributions from the Champions League. This tells me that like you can affect games even when you don't dominate possession, right? Because you're not in the game, so you can't sit here and say that he has to be in the game to have an effect, because he's not. He's clearly not playing as much, but he's still producing well. So he may only need one run, a turnover, like a defender caught up, like, and then bang, he gone. You know what I mean? So like that's kind of dope, and it kind of fits what we saw when we just watched the highlight reel, right? So Adeyemi isn't necessarily the player who is going to touch the ball 100 times and control the entire match. But he's a player who could turn a moment into a goal, and we need that, right? So that could become extremely valuable, especially in the Champions League, bro, because we need more goals in the Champions League. We need to bring a UCL home. I'm tired of all the haters. I'm tired of hearing it. We need to bring one home. And would he be able to do that for us? I don't know. I'm not going to say, I can't say yes. I can't say no. So I do want to know whether the production is sustainable. Like, is he considered to be a good chance creator, or does he go through like hot stretches? Like, is he good with it, or is it just like here and there? You know what I mean? Now I'm checking his shooting numbers. Okay. Now, when I ran that through the AI, the first thing I want to know is how often he shoots. Where are those shots coming from? Is he taking them inside the penalty area? Are they good shots? Are you settling for outside the box shots? Because a fast player who consistently reaches dangerous areas is much more valuable than a fast player who ends every attack on some crazy shot that's not even on target anyway. After running it through my AI system, because of his expected goal numbers and his actual production, Adeyemi appears capable of getting into legitimate scoring positions, right? That's what it looks like. So this supports the idea that he isn't just running quickly into open space for decoration, but that his movement is actually putting him into places where he can hurt teams, right? We saw that in the video as well, right? But I still want more consistency in finishing. You know what I mean? Because the numbers aren't the greatest once you understand what they are, right? Because the problem is at Barcelona, the chances might be there, but there's a lot of pressure, right? Like, missing 2 chances is one thing at Dortmund, but missing 2 chances in, let's say, a Champions League match, brother, you do that, you're the talk of the internet, and you are the talk of the transfer market immediately, dealing with Barca and the coolers and the fans. You understand? So that's another thing. It's a lot of pressure when it comes to come over here too, though. That's one thing for sure. So now let's think about like the passing and creativity aspect of it, right? Because you need that. Playing as a forward, you need that. So Adeyemi is not coming here. He's not here to be Pedri, right? He's not going to control the tempo from midfield or complete a massive number of passes every match. His creativity is more direct, right? He creates danger through runs, dribbles, cutbacks, and quick combinations around the penalty area, as we see in the video. The assists are encouraging because they show that he isn't only looking to score. Those crosses in the box were beautiful. And I believe that Lamine, Rafa, Gordon, even Ferran would get on those. Now, would Ferran bang them? But he'd get on them. You know what I mean? So the assists, they look good, right? Now, I still want to see how reliable he is, though, when he has to make the final decision, because I seen a couple of plays in the highlights where he didn't make the best decision possible, but he did well getting there, right? So when you get behind the defense, though, like, do you find the open teammate all the time, or was that just a highlight thing? Do you force the shot? Do you rush the pass? These things matter. You know what I mean? Like, these things honestly matter, right? So your decision-making could determine whether you be a major weapon or a liability and a cause of stupendous frustration amongst the fan base, right? So we already know he can run. The question is, now, what can you do with the ball while running, right? So can you carry the ball forward consistently? Can you beat defenders one-on-one? Can you receive the ball with your back to the goal? Now, I didn't see too much of that, but he for surely was beating defenders one-on-one. We witnessed that with our own eyes. For surely beating defenders one-on-one. So Now, can you maintain control when the space becomes tight? We've seen a little bit of that, but we also seen a little fumbling of that too. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Like, his directness and carrying ability could give Barcelona a weapon, but like, I don't know. Like, he feels completely different than Lamine, right? They feel completely different, right? So Lamine, he often wants the ball at his feet. He wants to create the chances. He want to read the defender, bang, bang, mix master. Do what he do to get his teammates open, right? Cause the chaos to get his teammate open, right? Now, Adeyemi, though, he looks more interested in attacking the space behind the defender. So the contrast in the two, if Adeyemi's on the left and Lamine's on the right, it can make the attack harder to predict now, because the concern is that Barcelona will face low blocks in a large percentage of their matches, especially when it comes to La Liga, right? So there's not always 30 yards of open grass waiting for you, as we've seen in the highlight film, right? So sometimes you receive the ball with two defenders in front of you and 8 players packed around the penalty area, right? Can you still be effective in those matches? That is a big question, gang. Like, can you do it? Can you be effective? Because Barca faces it a lot, right? Right. So what do you do without the ball? Like, all this stuff matters. All these factors need to be looked at because they matter, right? You can't simply wait near the halfway line for Barca to win possession for you as a forward in Barcelona. It does not work. You can't just sit there and just be in an area because you're a forward. Our forwards come back and help. I don't know if you noticed, but they come back and help. Lamine come back and help. Not as good as Rafa does, but he does it. Rafa comes back and help. These things happen, right? So you gotta like close defenders down. You gotta like react after a turnover and help recover the ball as quickly as possible. That's just what you gotta do, right? So you being fast, it should make you useful in the press because you can cover ground quickly. You can pressure defenders before they even get a chance to like get their stuff together. You know what I mean? So, but pressing is not only about being fast, because if that was the case, the answer would be easy. Get a fast guy. Easy. You know what I'm saying? It requires timing, discipline, and effort. Now, you have to know when to spread, when to direct the opponent, and when not to. When to just, stay back and, do what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? So, if you can handle that on the pressing side, then sign them up and get them over here, because you'll fit. If you can handle that, you fit. You fit. But do you handle that? You know what I mean? That's a very valid question. Do you handle that? And with the lack of minutes that you had, it's hard to evaluate that. You know what I mean? So, now another thing that we do have to discuss, right, is the availability of the player. It's another major thing that we have to discuss, is the availability of the player. Now, doing some research, Adeyemi has dealt with injuries, interruptions during his career. Most players have. Most players that have been playing for a long time have had some type of injury delay them in their career. Fine. But you can't brush it aside, especially depending on what the injury is, right? Explosiveness is a huge part of your game. When a player's biggest weapon are acceleration and sprinting, recurring muscular problems become especially concerning. You find this in any sport. Any sport. When you are fast, quick, and you're always moving at high speed, pushing your body, you hurt yourself. I don't care what you're doing, you hurt yourself. So it happens. The problem with that is we can't afford to buy another talented player who is only available in a few matches in each competition. Like, I don't want that. I'm pretty sure you don't want that. We've already had that. We're trying to avoid that. So we don't want that, right? So before signing him, just make sure that we are completely confident in his medical evaluation, because we need somebody that's going to be available, readily available at all times, and we need somebody that can stay available. You know, it's a big thing for me, because a lot of guys kept getting injured and costing us in great, grave moments, and it was a little frustrating. Okay, so. But anyway, after watching the video, I'm not going to these numbers, I can understand why Flick would want Karim Adeyemi, right? He brings elite speed, direct running, transition danger, goal production. Even though his minutes were small, he was still bringing very good goal production. And he can stretch defenses, create space, and basically give you another aspect to your attack to help the already powerful attack of Barcelona, right? But I also see risks. He's not consistent. His decision making, injury history, and ability to perform against the low block is a question because nowhere in that highlight did I see a low block. Nowhere in that highlight did I really see a tight space for him to work in. Now, I see some tight spaces, but I didn't see a lot of them. You know what I mean? So that's another thing, like, it's still in the air about, right? So, like, the bigger mystery is what will you look like on a regular day in La Liga with all the low block? Because I believe, like, in Champions League and play like that, the team that you play against there are attacking as well. Now, you find your defensive team, but a lot of them are attacking, and they leave a lot of space. So I think the Champions League, because they are attacking, because they're trying to score, just like you're trying to score, they need space. A lot of teams in La Liga are just trying to hold on. They just want to stay in La Liga. They don't want to go down a division. They're just trying to stay in La Liga. So when they play to survive. When you're in the Champions League, a lot of teams play to win, especially once you get to knockout rounds. You play to win. La Liga, they play to survive. Unless you're the big clubs, the Atletis, the Real, the Barças, the those names, the other names, the Villarreal, the ones that have names. Other than that, they're playing to survive, right? So it's a big difference, right? So is he an automatic yes for me? No. And the reason why I say no is because it comes down to what's going to be the price. It comes down to what do we have to pay in order to get this player. That's what it comes down to for me because I see a phenomenal athlete. I see a great player. I see a possible contributor to the team. But if the price is not right, what are we doing? Because I already believe that we paid too much for Anthony Gordon. Great player, phenomenal defense, can shoot when he needs to, hustles crazy. I still just think we paid a lot. But that's just me. You know what I mean? So if Dortmund is demanding superstar money, be cautious. But I don't think they are. From what I heard, from what I've been hearing, it's like, what, 40 million or something like that? I think that's what they're asking. If I'm not mistaken, I can't remember, but I believe that's what they're asking. If you can get them for a reasonable fee, like especially with the contract situation, going on, then do it. But you gotta understand, right? Some of you guys there. He's not coming in as a Lamine. He's not coming in as a superstar. You know what I mean? Like, he's just not. If he does, it'd be amazing. But he's just not coming in as like just wow, the superstar, right? So he just basically coming in as like a weapon, and he has certain qualities that would help. So he'd be a role player for the most part. Now, if he did develop it to a superstar, phenomenal. I don't know. I see him better I see him more as another role player on the team, right? You know what I'm saying? My verdict right now is sign him for the right price, but do not get dragged into an expensive bid war. Like, I can see the vision of what you're trying to do, and I can understand why Flick wants him. I can understand why a lot of y'all want him. But I'm not ready to give him that, like, you a for sure thing. Some people are. Some people are like, oh man, he's going to be great. I'm skeptical. I'm just one of them guys. So, yeah, I can't, man. I can't. Because it's too many variables. It's too many questions that I did not have answered. You know what I mean? Like, especially when it comes to defensive press. Like, I heard he's defensive, but I didn't see the stats for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't know. But anyway, now I want to know what y'all think, man. After seeing the highlights and looking through the numbers and hearing what I had to say, would you bring Karim Adeyemi to Barcelona? And if so, what is the maximum amount that you would pay for him? Let me know in the comments, man. And in that day, man, it's Bisca Barca, Bed Al, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace. What's the word, y'all? Funny thing is, when I woke up to edit this video so that I could give it to y'all, I come to find out that Well, here we go. Barcelona agreed to deal to sign Karim Adeyemi. Here we go. Deal agreed to club for $22 million plus $7 million add-ons based on title winning and also appearances. Adeyemi only wanted Barca and will sign a 5-year deal in Blaugrana. Now, this is reported by Fabrizio Romano, which means that Adeyemi is now going to be on Barcelona, which is great. And it actually changes my questions now. Do y'all like this signing? What do y'all think about that signing? Do y'all think he will be effective? Do you think that he will be a factor in what makes us better and makes us UCL champions and bring Barca back to what Barca formerly was and make the team that I now enjoy a campeones of the highest level? But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. And Bisca Barca, and here we go. I'm out.